Hi, this is Ike from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got another book to read for you. Today's book is Sindbad the Sailor from 1878. So let's get started. It was a rainy day. Huey, Dewey, and Louie were sad because they could not go out and play. Don't be sad, said Grandma Duck. I know what we can do. She went over to the bookcase and took a red book off the shelf. I will read a story to you about a brave boy named Sindbad. Grandma Duck sat down in a big green chair. Huey, Dewey, and Louie sat on the floor in front of her. Then Grandma Duck began to read the story. It went like this. Once there was a poor boy named Sindbad. He thought he could get rich by working as a sailor. Soon he took his few things and went to find a job on a ship. Sindbad was lucky. He got a job as a sailor and added his name to a list of crew members. Sindbad's ship set sail, but soon there was a terrible storm at sea. The ship was almost lost in the rain and high winds. When the storm was over, all Sinbad wanted was to be back on land. At last, the ship crew sighted land. It was a small island. Sinbad and four other sailors headed for shore in a rowboat. Maybe I will find riches there, thought Sinbad as they stepped on to the land. Sinbad and the other sailors were cold, so they built a fire to warm themselves up. But just then, the ground began to shake, and they were thrown high in the air. The island was really a giant well that had been sleeping. The hot fire had awakened him. He quickly dove to the bottom of the ocean, and the sailors were thrown into the water. Sinbad sank down into the ocean. He was sure that he would drown. When Sinbad came up again, he could not see the ship, but luckily a barrel floated past him, and he got inside. He used his shirt for a sail, and the wind carried him to a beautiful island. Maybe I would find riches here, said Sinbad, as he walked on shore. He saw fruit trees, birds, and flowers, but there were no houses or people. Suddenly, Sinbad saw a large white shape in the distance. Maybe it's a house, he said to himself. I will go there. When he got closer, he saw that it was a huge egg. He had never before seen anything like it. While Sinbad was looking at the egg, a giant bird flew out of the sky. Spreading its wings wide, the bird landed near Sinbad. Sinbad quickly tied himself to the bird's foot. Maybe the bird will fly to a big city, thought Sinbad. The huge bird took off again. Sinbad held tight to the bird's foot. As they flew in the air over a large city, when Sinbad looked down and saw how high it was, he was so afraid. But finally the bird landed gently on the ground. Sinbad carefully untied himself. Then he ran as fast and far away as he could. The next morning he came to a castle with a big wooden door. What will I find behind that door? Thought Sinbad. He went inside and found some bones on the floor. I wonder what these big bones are, said Sinbad. Maybe a giant lives there. Right you are, said a loud voice. Turn around. Sinbad found he was standing beside a giant. The giant grabbed Sinbad in his huge hand. Sindbad was ready to fight for his life, but the giant said, "You are too small to eat. There's not enough meat on you." He put Sindbad back down on the floor. Sindbad ran away as fast as he could. The next day, Sindbad came to a beautiful city. There was a fountain in the middle of the square. Sindbad sat down on the fountain to rest. "Maybe I will get rich in this city," he thought. Sindbad asked a friendly man how he could get rich in that city. "The Sultan loved coconuts," the man said. "He will give a prize to anyone who brings him some." "That sounds easy," said Sindbad. "It isn't," said the man, "because the coconuts are guarded by a giant." But Sindbad decided to try. He set out for the coconut grove, and Lucky was with him. 4 monkeys were playing in a coconut tree, but the giant was nowhere to be seen. The monkey thought that Sindbad wanted to play catch with them. They grabbed coconuts out of the tree and threw them at Sindbad. Sindbad quickly filled his sack full. Sindbad hurried back to the city. Just as he got there, the Sultan passed by. The Sultan was riding a large elephant, and his servant was walking beside him. "If you please, Sultan," called Sindbad, "I have some coconut for you." The Sultan stopped and leaned over. "You said you have coconuts?" he asked. "How did you get them?" Sindbad told his story to the Sultan. "You was very brave to get to the giant grove and bring me these coconuts," said the Sultan. "You should be rewarded." The Sultan gave Sindbad gold and jewelry. "Hooray, I'm rich," shouted Sindbad. Sindbad decided to sail back to his own land. The friendly man came to wave goodbye. Sindbad waved back. He was very happy. The Sultan gold and jewelry had made him a rich man at last. So Sindbad returned home and lived in comfort for the rest of his life, said Grandma Duck as she closed the book and stood up. "What a lucky fellow," said Huey, Louie, and Dewey. "Yes, but don't forget that he was also brave and clever," said Grandma Duck. So that was Sinbad the Sailor from 1978. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment, and have a groovy day. We have another video coming out real soon.